Do you want to approach women you see out in the real world, but you worry you're going to come off as creepy or maybe bother them? In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 approach moves that women hate and the 5 moves they love so that you can confidently talk to women anywhere. I'm dating coach and best-selling author Connell Barrett, and I help men approach women with confidence, charm, and authenticity. No sketchy pickup artist moves needed. Stick around, because at the end of the video, I'm going to share the most powerful mindset secret that will end your fear of approaching for good. So let's dive in. Creepy move number 1, hovering and staring at her before you approach. Few things will creep a woman out more than a guy who just stares at her like a character from a Stanley Kubrick movie. Here's the fix. As soon as you see that woman you want to talk to, count down from 10 seconds, and before you get to 0, you should be speaking to her. Use good old-fashioned courage and go over and talk to her. Here's a quick story. When I first began approaching women, I was at a rooftop bar in New York City, and I had terrible approach anxiety. I'm a shy, introverted guy, and it wasn't easy for me to do this. But I saw 2 really attractive women, a cute brunette and a beautiful blonde, sitting at a table with a man, a big, strong, muscular man. And I had every reason in the world not to approach, but I did it. I counted down from 10 and I walked over and I sat down and I said, "Hey guys, you look friendly. I'm Connell. How's your night going?" And the cute brunette leaned forward and she said, "You just came right up to us and said hi. Do you know what you are?" And I thought she was gonna say something like, I don't know, a creep? A guy who was about to get his butt kicked by her boyfriend? But I said, "I don't know, what am I?" And she said, "You're normal. Thank you for just coming over and talking to us. We appreciate it so much." Then she pointed to a different table where this other guy, a fellow ginger, I remember because I thought, you're in the ginger club, this other guy was sitting nearby, and she said, "See that guy over there? He's been staring at me all night and it's creeping me out." So the lesson is, don't stare and linger. Go right away, count down from 10, and before you get to 1, approach that woman. She will feel so much more comfortable talking to you if you just walk over and commit to it rather than staring at her and creeping her out. Here's creepy move number 2 when you're approaching, leading with her looks. Don't open a conversation with a woman about her body or her physical appearance. This typically makes women feel objectified. The bottom line is you want to notice something about her that you like that is not purely her appearance. In other words, compliment her or approach her and mention something about her traits, not her. Okay? So for example, I was once walking through a park here in New York City, and I turned to my right, and walking alongside me was a very attractive, stylish woman, and she had a very confident walk. And I turned to her and I said, "You have a very confident walk. You walk like the mayor of New York City." It was just something that came out of the authentic moment. And she looked back at me and smiled and she said, "I am the mayor of New York City." And I said, "Well, you look a lot better than you do on TV, Miss Mayor." And 5 minutes later, she and I had left the park together and we went on an instant date to go get smoothies together. And if I had complimented her on her looks and appearance, I would have sounded like 20 other guys that week. But I complimented her on the way she walked and her confident demeanor, and that made me stand out. So compliment her traits, her laugh, her style, her energy. Don't just compliment her physical appearance. You want to be that rare guy who sees that there's something special about her, not just her body parts or her pretty face. Here's creepy move number 3. This is a game changer if you get rid of this problem. Approaching with a timid, apologetic vocal tonality. You don't want to talk so quietly that you sound like you're apologizing for existing. You want to walk up to a woman with a nice resonant vocal tonality. There's something about a confident vocal tonality that says to a woman, this guy believes in himself. He has confidence in who he is. And if you feel you have confidence in who you are, she's going to feel that confidence, and that's very attractive. Here's the fix. When you approach that woman, imagine she has a twin standing right behind her about 3 feet, and approach her with a vocal tonality that doppelganger behind her would be able to hear. In other words, speak loudly enough so that someone standing 3 feet behind her will be able to hear you. This will make your voice sound confident and, like Walt Whitman said, sound your barbaric yawp.
Gotta get in yawping stance. Yaw. Come on, louder. Yaw. Oh, that's a mouse. Come on, louder. Yaw. Oh, good God, boy, yell like that. There it is.
Let her hear your voice. Women love being approached by a man with a confident voice. Here is creepy approach move number 4. Hiding your true intentions. In other words, pretending that you're not there because you're attracted to her. Do not approach a woman who you find attractive and walk up just to say, hey, what time is it? Or do you know where the local restaurant is? You want to lead with authenticity. Remember, your true authentic self is always coming out. So whatever you're actually thinking and feeling is what you want to say to a woman. And this is your approaching fix. Lead with the truth as long as it's G-rated. So if she's a beautiful, stunning, incredible woman and that's why you're talking to her, lead with that, just make it G-rated. You might say, hey, I just saw you and you're adorable, I had to come meet you. That takes a lot of confidence and vulnerability, and that's very impressive to women. Or maybe you want to share something with her. Maybe you're just in a good mood and you want to share it with somebody interesting. Walk up and share the joke, the thought, the interesting observation you have. When a woman feels like you're approaching her from a place of giving, not taking, that removes all sense of creepiness and allows her to see you as a man who's got something to give to her, and that's the kind of man women want to be approached by. Here's creepy move number 5. Touching with a creepy agenda. Touching her because you've been told you must break the touch barrier, so you just put your hand on her knee and leave it there. I was out with clients recently helping them approach women here in New York City, and we saw some random guy who had just approached a woman. He had his hand on her lower back and was just leaving it there like a dead fish. Aww. And we could see her body language. She was trying to get away from him because he was just touching, because he'd probably heard some douchebag male pickup guy say, you must break the touch barrier. Don't just randomly break the touch barrier. Here's the right way to touch women. The fix here is you want to make your touch a natural extension of your expression. Again, this is all about authenticity. So as you make a point, as you're sharing a point, you might give her a high five. Or if you find something in common with her, you might say, no way, we both like the same rock band, give her a fist bump. Or if she says she's been working out with her personal trainer, you might say, make a muscle. And then you might feel how hard her muscle is. The bottom line is, for a touch to not be creepy to a woman you just met, it has to have a purpose. You have to have a reason for the touch. So don't just put your hand on her because you've been told must break the touch barrier. Make touch a quick, G-rated, and appropriate extension of your natural communication, and that will feel so good to women, and it will also convey a confidence and a comfort and ease you have with yourself. And here is that bonus mindset tip I want to give you. Here it is. Remember this. Women want you to approach them, but only if you do it with authenticity, playfulness, and as a true gentleman. The bottom line is, women don't want every guy to approach her. They don't want catcallers or weird pickup guys or guys who spit game or objectify them. But they love it when a genuine, charming man comes up and creates a genuine moment. Think about this. A woman is in a grocery store and she is checking out the ice cream aisle or she's shopping for her salad she's making that night. And somebody like you walks over to her and you chat her up in a spontaneous, authentic, genuine way, and you create a real connection. You are giving her something priceless that almost every single woman wants. You're giving her a rom-com movie moment. You're giving her the kind of moment she's going to want to tell her girlfriends about. Because if you are the 800th guy who was swiped right on her on Tinder that week, she's not even going to see your profile. But if you're that one guy who walked over to her in the frozen food ice cream section at Whole Foods, or was standing in line next to her at the coffee shop and started chatting about iced coffee versus hot coffee, you can create these rom-com in real life moments that feel incredible to women, and they are dying to meet a guy who does this. So Do not think for a second that it's creepy or wrong to approach a woman. It's creepy or wrong to approach a woman using any of the bad moves I talked about here, but if you do it with authenticity and charm, remember, women are dying for a good, solid, authentic gentleman like you to walk up and take a social risk. Give it a shot. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, if you would like to talk to me about finding out how one-on-one dating coaching works and how I help my clients go out into the world and approach women with my help and get phone numbers and dates and get great girlfriends, just go to datingtransformation.com, click the book a call button, and you can grab a free time to talk with me about how I can help you confidently approach women, get numbers and dates, and find a great relationship. Anyway, go to datingtransformation.com and maybe we'll talk soon.